Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here. My name is Wayne Scott. I'm the Chief of Police here in Greensboro. I think most of you know me. We're here to discuss some of the details of an incident that occurred on March 25th, 2014. I think everyone's pretty well aware of that. That day there was a exchange between a Greensboro police officer and Miss Chieu Vo that resulted in the death of Miss Vo, which is a tragedy. It is a tragedy for both our police department, for the Vo family, and for this community in its entirety. And as the ladies have said, we want to make sure that we preserve as much respect as possible as we go through this. This is an extremely complicated and inclusive investigation that I'm going to describe to you today, which is going to have many different parts. The parts we're going to discuss here shortly are including the 911 recordings, radio communications that we have captured, portions of our body-worn camera that former officer T.J. Block was wearing that day. These are all small parts of a large investigation. I'm going to attempt, as we take the next few minutes, to weave all those together along with information received by the State Bureau of Investigation, by the Greensboro Police Department during their investigation, and to explain the picture, the questions as it comes about. So I'll ask you to bear with me as we go through that. Today I will be using the screen to my left for some multimedia format. I will ahead of time tell you as we go through each particular slide what you're going to see so that you'll be prepared. And some of the things you're going to see are actually difficult to watch, and I will try to prepare you for that. Everything today will be in real time as you hear the 911 calls, as you hear the radio traffic, as you see the video, with one exception. The very last part of the presentation, and I'll remind you of this again, is actually part of the video we slowed down to help you understand it in a better way. Many lives have been touched by this tragedy, and I'm certain that there is not a day that goes by that the Vo family don't think of what happened. And I will tell you that we also think of the Block family and all those who have been touched. So I do appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you bearing with us as we go through it. We believe, we the police department and the city of Greensboro believe it is important that you have the opportunity to see what we saw in the same format. I will remind you before we begin that this entire incident has been investigated close to 2 years ago now by the State Bureau of Investigation, by the Greensboro Police Department. That investigation has been reviewed by the Guilford County District Attorney. All of those organizations, including the District Attorney, have found that the officer's actions were justified both in state and federal, abided by state and federal law, and that the actions were justified and warranted based off the facts that were presented to them. So, with that being said, we're going to get started. The first slide, this is an aerial view of the complex where the incident occurred. I'll probably say this several times, so forgive me, I will repeat myself. As you see the body-worn camera video coming up the next view, you'll see that the officer actually comes down Hewitt Street and parks into this apartment complex. The officer interacts with a caller, who you're about to hear the 911 call, who actually lived in this building. She interacts with him there, and she leads him around the side where she stands behind him as the majority of the situation unfolds. At 4:29 p.m. we received a 911 call. That's how most police calls for service initiate. We're going to let you hear that in just a moment. The officer was immediately dispatched as the telecommunicator received enough information to begin to push that call out electronically. As the caller goes on, the call is updated, of course. At 4:32 p.m. we received a second call, which was a very short call, which just simply indicated that there was a person armed with a knife, and described that person to be a female, they believe possibly Hispanic. We do not have that one available today, but if you wish to get that, we can get that for you. So this will be the first call.
No!
What's the address
Hey,
of the emergency?
could you please send somebody over here to in the area of 4027 Hewitt Street? It's a little Philippine woman. She's not right. She's chasing a mother there with a meat cleaver.
Tell me the address again, ma'am.
My address is 4027 apartment. But they're outside. The mama's trying to run from her, and the mother's 75 years old. The girl got a knife.
Okay, and what is your phone number you're calling from?
Oh, I'm calling for my girlfriend's number. Is no, sorry.
Okay, and what is your name, ma'am? White female what?
They're Laos, Vietnamese something.
Okay.
Yeah. She got a meat cleaver. Well, you want to come in here?
Can you give me a description of them?
Running back. Oh, Lord, she's running back to my house with that knife again. She's short, and she's wearing a T-shirt. And
what color? I mean, just like a white T-shirt?
Yeah. She's fussing at my door with that knife in her hand. She's not right. She went off a couple of weeks ago. She was doing the same thing.
All right, man. We got him on the way. Who's she chasing?
Pardon?
Who is she chasing?
She was chasing her mother.
In the parking lot?
Yes.
All right, man. We got him on the way out there. If anything changes, call us back.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
The transmission you heard was received by Metro 911. As I said, they began to dispatch almost immediately. At 4:30 p.m., Officer Block was dispatched. He arrived at scene 5 minutes later at 4:35 p.m. His assist car was over 5 minutes away and actually did not arrive until after the encounter had occurred. The next portion of audio you're going to hear is really the radio traffic. And again, this is in real time. It does take a moment, but I think it's important to understand that. You will hear the officer dispatched. You will hear a couple of other things on there that are non-related because our frequencies are shared amongst different officers, of course. You will hear the second car initiate and head that way. We've taken the liberty to put a couple of 10 codes up here so you'll have a full understanding of what you're hearing. 1032 refers to being armed. 1039 indicates the officers are driving emergency traffic. 1078 means an officer needing assistance. Signal 50 would mean I'm okay, and 1023 is on scene. You'll hear those kind of intertwined together through this next portion. Toward the end of this portion, you will hear all the way from dispatch, arrival, the officer updates at the scene. You will hear the officer announce that shots have been fired, and with just a few seconds, you will hear the officer turn into a rescue mode where he begins to call for EMS. Okay?
352. I'm in 330. I need you both to respond 4027 Hewitt Street, Apartment D, David. Be in reference to a 1032 subject. Complainant advises that a female is chasing another female around with a knife in the parking lot. And it's just to 4027 Hewitt Street. 1032 subject is wearing a white T-shirt, be a short female.
I see you. Show me 1039.
352 10-4. Tried dispatch 330 going with you. Haven't checked around. I'm trying to pull another car from another district that's going to be close by. And 352 subject are possibly Hispanic. Advised female still walking around the parking lot yelling and still holding the knife.
255, standing by on 3.
255, respond assisting 352 at 4027 Hewitt Street, Apartment D, David. 1032 subject, the two females walking around in the parking lot. And one female chasing another with 1032 with a knife, wearing a white shirt, possibly Hispanic. 330, I'll show you tonight.
I copy. I'll be 1039 from the D2 sub.
Tell.
Seven 24, I'll be 1042.
724. 9-4.
352, being advised that they're behind 4027.
Copy. Being advised behind 4027, 255. Copy.
352, shots fired. Shots fired.
10-4, copy. Shots fired. Any unit in the area that can start that way.
Start EMS. Start EMS.
10-4, 1039.
Area 4, hold the channel, treat like a 1078.
10-4. All units hold traffic. 1070.
Four on three.
326.
434 is on 3.
352, I'm signal 50. Shots fired, I got one down.
Okay. The next clip you're going to see is real time of the officer's body-mounted video, body cam. So let me take just a couple of minutes to show you what you're going to see, because the entire clip is only about 1 minute and 20 seconds long. Okay, so a lot of things are going to develop very quickly. So I want to try to give you an idea of what you're going to see, and then I'm going to show it to you again, but I think so that you have a better perspective before we get there. First, I want to let you know that this next slide is where we concluded the video that we showed the family. I've had that question. There are 2 additional slides I've added at this point, but we were able to show the family what you have seen so far, and we've showed them the actual real-time video. We showed it in excess of probably 5 or 6 times at their request. The City Council has seen the entire presentation at this point. Okay? So let me take you back for a minute about body cameras. Most of you are from this area, and you've seen body cameras from time to time and what they look like, how they work. At this time, in March of 14, we have not been in the body camera deployment for more than 9 months. At that time, the greatest majority of our officers used a 2-piece part of a body camera, which worked as a camera that was affixed alongside their glasses. We issued sunglasses, both tinted and non-tinted lenses for them. And you will see them that even now some of our officers wear that camera, or they wear it on their collar, and there's a second unit which is connected by a wire. That's considered a first-generation body camera. We're actually in the process through 2016, 2017, the technology is moving away from the 2-piece. One of the things that we found in the first few months of having the 2-piece is there are some deployment issues for us, and you're going to see a couple of those in this, and that's the reason I want to point that out. One, that because the camera being affixed here, that officers, you will see the officer's head move around. When you first see the video, he is in the car, he's looking for the address. When you see him stop, he is looking for the actual address. When he steps out of the car, he has an interaction with an African American female there in the parking lot. This is the same female you heard in the original 911 call. Okay? As he approaches her, this is an overcast day, he instinctively pushed his glasses up in this motion. So the video image goes from a directly head-on to you will start seeing trees and sky for a moment. He and the caller start to step around the side of the building. You will hear him ask, where is she? Is that her? You will hear her reply, her being the caller, go, here she comes again. At that time, the officer was about 12 foot around the corner of the building. He began to retreat. And you'll get an opportunity to see this several times. You will see he actually retreats about 12 foot with that caller directly behind him on his left shoulder. As he's retreating, his glasses fall back down. We asked him in the investigation, did you pull them down? And quite honestly, his reply was, I don't remember. But you will see we go from a sky directly back to everything is on the body cam again. Within about 8 or 10 seconds, you will see, you'll see immediately, you'll see Miss Vo coming down the sidewalk. You will see in her left hand a large knife. You will hear the officer give commands. And I'll go over the footage in just a moment. But when the officer turns around the corner, the SBI and our investigation and witness statements put that the officer and Miss Vo were approximately 40 foot apart. That's the part that you won't be able to see because the camera was still facing up. You will hear him begin to give commands. As he's giving commands, he is retreating because she's coming toward him. When he gets she gets approximately 12 foot away, and by this time the camera falls back down into place, he fires 4 shots. She continues to come at him. She gets within 4 foot, and he fires, or he gives 2 more commands and fires 1 last round. She stops. She comes to rest at approximately the exact location he was when he started backing up. Okay, so that's a lot to take in just a few seconds. So when you see it, we're gonna go through it again, and we'll go through it in slow motion. All right.
Hey, ma'am, hold on one sec. Hey, where'd they go? Back of the building? Where? 352, and they're behind 4027.
Copy. Taking us behind 4027, 255.
Where?
Only get here, take them off, we get completely.
Okay, stay here.
Oh, yeah.
Where is she?
Come in here.
Where is she? Is this her? Hey, put it down! Put it down! Put it down! I'm telling you, put it down! Put it down! Put it down! 352, shots fired! Shots fired!
So again, just to recount what I told you a moment ago, the investigation reveals that when he turns the corner, there's about 40 foot apart. That's based off of witness statements, based off of a lot of evidence that the SBI concluded. He issued his commands as she was coming toward him. At the 12 foot mark, he fired 4 rounds. At the 4 foot mark, thereabouts, he issued 2 more commands and fired 1 last round. At the point that she stopped, he complied with both state and federal law. He did not use any more force past the point in which she was coming toward him. The actual incident is about 6 seconds long. So the next slide is one, as I said a moment ago, that we have been able to enhance. We don't go through the entire thing. Actually, the next slide you're going to see will be the same clip of video 3 times in a row. It will start approximately the time when he turns the corner. And the first one is at normal speed, just as you saw before, no enhancement bias at all. The second version is at 25% speed, and the last one is at 10% speed. A couple of things I will tell you. One, putting it up on a 60-inch monitor, we lose a lot of quality. When we review these videos regularly, and actually the camera system is designed to be viewed on a computer screen, where you can actually see more detail. It becomes very pixelized as we get it larger. Understand that. The product that we will be pushing out through the GTN network will have it where I think you will have a better view of the actual video. The other part I will tell you is that by slow motion, if you will watch the motions of Miss Vo, if you watch her body, her head, her face, it will bring some clarity, I think, to some of the questions that have been brought around about where she was and what her intention was. Okay?
Where is she? Where is she? Is this her? Hey, put it down! Put it down! Put it down! I'm telling you, put it down! Put it down! Put it down! 352, shots fired! Shots fired! Where is she? Where is she? Is this her? Hey, put it down! Put it down! 352, shots fired. Shots fired. Where is she? Where is she? Is this her? Hey, put it down! Put it down! .352, shots fired. Shots fired.
This final slide is one to remind us again of some of the things I want to reiterate. It's got the definition for the imminent threat of deadly force is really what guides all law enforcement in this country around the use of deadly force, and if the officer reasonably believes that he or a third person, in this case the officer and the caller, was directly behind him. We put this up here just so we would have a way to talk a little bit more about the oversight. I think most of you are aware of this. When we have a use of force that results in a death in Greensboro, it is our policy that we ask the State Bureau of Investigation to come in and investigate it for us. That is not a state requirement. That is a decision that the GPD has made, and it falls in line with most agencies in the state. The second portion of that for us is to look and see internally, are there problems that have occurred. That would be run by the Greensboro Police Department, both our criminal investigation and our professional standards. The State Bureau of Investigation will then take their report to the district attorney, and the district attorney makes a decision. In this case, we contacted both the SBI and the district attorney's office, and we invited them to come here today. Both of them declined. Both of them were comfortable with the statement that they had concluded their investigation almost 2 years ago. They felt that this was no new evidence. They've seen the video, and they stand by their findings that the officer was justified in the level of force that he used on that day. Both of them did want us to relay to both the public, the community, and the media. They will be happy to speak with you one-on-one if you'd like to reach out to representatives.